Alright, so, humanities exam, 2009, third try, senior year, Isaac Mayfield. I chose option B, which was why is my life an art form, or how is my life an art form? And since it's technically not option A, though it is a video, I don't think there's actually a time limit. So I hope the fact that it may or may not be 5 minutes doesn't grade me down any more than I already need. Anyway, I think my life is an art form because I love to tell stories. When I had speech class with Mr. Foley, one of the big things he said was a lot of the speeches that you give in your life aren't going to be normal, like speeches that you would give to a presentation. You wouldn't always be like the guy up in front who's like, well, I think the next quarter needs to be more auto sales, or things like that. A lot of the speeches that you would give in a typical lifetime would be things like telling stories to other people and getting people to laugh, or engaging people in what you were saying. And I think that was one of the things that I took away from his class, was storytelling, because he was such a good storyteller, and he'd always tell the stories where he would be like, this is the strawberry sneakers, and he'd use that voice, I'm Mr. Foley, that voice. And I always thought that was really cool, and his storytelling was kind of inspiring. So to show you how my life is an art form, I'm going to tell you a story. Alright? Here we go. Alright, the one thing you have to know about storytelling is there aren't many images involved other than the guy who is actually telling the story. So, which is what makes it such an art form, is it lets your mind really explore the possibilities and the creations that the human brain can actually create. So, as you listen to the story, do whatever you do as if you were watching, Mr. Foley tell a story or somebody else tell a story. Just relax and enjoy. Okay, here we go. As you may or may not know, probably not know since it's not very obvious, I like to work out. And I go to MVP, which is the gym on the south side, and I was doing this is actually a number of stories in one story over a lot of happenings. I was at the gym and I was pumping iron, I was really getting into it. I was like, yeah, that's right, watch me build these muscles. And I saw a girl that I haven't seen since 8th grade named Allison Daubertine, who I haven't talked to since 8th grade, which I already said. And I wanted to say hi and connect, because we hadn't talked in so long. So instead of walking up to her and going like, hey Allison, how have you been? It's been a long time to see you. I proceeded to do this. Hey. And made myself look like a complete D-bag. And so I was sitting there, with my towel over my shoulder getting a drink, and I was like, hey, and then she walked by and I went, oh, no, man, you just made yourself look like an idiot. And so she walks away, and I can totally tell that behind my back she's going, oh my god, what an idiot. Who would ever want to hang out with that guy? Which sucks, because I want to hang out with pretty girls. And I'm not going to be able to if I just go around going, hey, what's up, completely, hey. And so then I get done with my workout, I'm all nasty and sweaty, so I go down and I take a shower, and I want to cool off, or warm up, and get my muscles all warm. So I go down and I sit in the hot tub, and I'm sitting there, and the thing about these hot tubs at a gym is no one actually talks to you while you're in there. You get down, you go to the hot tub, and you sit down, and you're maybe splash some water up on your face, do one of those with the water, and no one talks to you. The main, your main topic of conversation would be something like, oh yeah, I go to West Ottawa. Yeah, I like it. Cool. And that'd be it. So I'm sitting here in this hot tub trying to enjoy myself and relax, because it's the most relaxing place in the gym is just sitting in the hot tub all by yourself. And I feel horrible that I'm about to tell this story, because I hope the guy that this is about never actually hears it. But this guy comes in and he sits down in a hot tub, and I kid you not, humanities class, this guy had the biggest nipples I have ever seen in my entire life. It's like he walked around with sausage patties right here. They're huge. And so I'm sitting there and I'm trying not to draw this, I'm not trying to not let this guy draw my gaze, but I'm sitting there and I just can't control it, because he's just sitting there but his nipples are ah, look at me, and it was like a spotlight. And so then I'm sitting there trying to not get distracted by this guy, and again I feel horrible, but this thunderous woman comes walking out of the women's locker room, and I swear her fupa, which is like this part of the body when it gets kind of big, was swinging as she walked. And I thought that if she lay down and got into the hot tub, she would hit me in the face with it. And I thought if she got down into the hot tub would sploosh over, and I would be trapped between this woman's belly and this guy's huge areolas sitting next to me. And so she's walking towards the hot tub, and I'm like, oh my, oh my, oh my. And I'm feeling horrible about it because I know I shouldn't feel this way, but I do. And she's like, oh, rah, rah, rah. And then she veers off to the right and goes and sits in the pool. And I'm sitting there like, oh, thank God. And I know that's horrible of me, but that was just, you know, what happened. And I don't know if that says something about me as a person, or if that says something about society in general. But I just think it's nuts, you know. And so that's my story, I guess. And I hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully you'll take something away from it and be able to tell stories that are probably better than this one. So have a good one.